can we say woman drivers with your foot on the clutch. I was talking about you, Easton. No bearings left, none at all. All right, guys, it's what time is it? I'm about to lie to you. It's 9 o'clock, Tuesday evening, just getting back from Young Man's, and our next project showed up on the road. So I've recruited my wife to help me. I left all my cameras in my other truck, so we have this one. Or I take you with me, but it's dark. I'm gonna get a hitch for the Suburban, a 2-inch ball I can hook a chain to, and go hook onto this old Dodge that needs a clutch. This truck that needs a clutch is my wife's uncle, and me and this truck kind of have a history. When we were first married, I didn't have a truck, so we borrowed this truck. I wouldn't say a ton, but quite a few times borrowed this truck because we didn't have our own, so we'd probably borrow his trailer with it, go do our cowboy things, go haul cows. And I remember putting the front end in it. The Alton Road was getting redone by, I think, Mel Clark. And if you remember Uncle Dustin, you may have drove through some cones, hit a hole that was all dug out. These second gen front ends, it buckled right where the coupler is in the middle. Bam, broke in half. Put the front end under this truck in heat and shop up to Alton a few nights after work. Now it's coming back so I can put a clutch in it. That may be half my fault from 10 years ago. Learning how to drive, 15 years, I don't know. I put some miles on this thing, so I guess it's my turn to work on it a little bit. I'm gonna get a chain and a receiver, and we'll see if we can coast her in the shop. All right. Found my receiver, we're good. There she is, beef. Gotta eat some beef. Hope I can hook to that. Looks like I can. Perfect. Oh, can we do it one-handed? Probably not. Chilly. All right, the truck's in. We made her, and it's cold down here, but it's only as cold as you think it is. When you get a truck that comes from Alton and there's white stuff on it, yeah, it's not too bad, is it, babe? We'll live here any day of the week. It's not Orderville. Orderville's like 10 degrees warmer all the time, which is weird, but anyways, we got a clutch to put in this old girl. I wonder if I'm not even sure I did an alignment on it. I think we just bolted the front end in, and it's just an old feed truck. Just send it, but it's not wearing tires too bad. Yeah, it's late, but it's in the shop. It can dry off, and we'll tear the inside out, get the shifter out, get the boot off, get everything done inside, and then tomorrow we'll raise it up, start tearing this thing apart. Probably take me a few nights. I'll just work on it an hour here and there. See if we can't get a clutch put in it. Hey guys, we're getting a fire going. We've had it going. It's pretty warm in here, which is dang nice. It's that time of year. It's freezing. Back on this old Dodge that needs a clutch, and I forgot, needs a power steering pump. All right guys, so I got the shifter out. That should be everything we need inside. So I'm gonna shut this door, and we'll roll the truck forward, put it on the hoist, put it in the air, and get some drive lines, transfer case unhooked, and the transmission's coming out of this thing. And then we have a South Bend, I believe it's a dual disc clutch. I haven't even looked yet. Easton ordered it, came with the truck, all the parts came with it. So all I've got to do is put them in it. So let's get going. You're not getting in the truck today. You gonna push with me, pup? Oh yeah, she's heavy. Just want to go backwards either. Stay. Something like that. I decided to leave the transfer case. It's usually easier to stab them. You have some leverage to push and pull, help guide it in there. But usually you have one other guy helping you. So hopefully this goes okay. I've got 4 bolts in each side, 2 nuts for the mount, and bell housing bolts. So I'm gonna get a socket and start undoing some things. We're gonna get this transmission out and get a clutch changed. I forgot about the transmission mount. Now the cross member will come out. Five more pounds of dirt all over the floor. She's close. So close. Come on. Woo. There's one. Get them out. We're getting close. Let's see if we got enough extensions here. Right there. Had it. Get a little pry bar. Okay. That may have been a little sketchy starting out, and I knew it. The jack had to be forward to get the cross member out. Now that the cross member's out, I pounded it backwards. There was a lot of leverage hanging off the back, more than I could control. Got 2 more ratchet straps. It's a little intense for a minute, but she's mostly out. Hence I turned the camera off because I was getting nervous. But we're under control again. Doesn't like to go down. This jack we've had it quite a few years. And it's lasted compared to mine. Mine got 2 transmissions out and it leaked all the oil out. The least I have to do is hold the back up so it'll go down, and that's good enough for me. That's out right there. I may not even roll it. Well, I have to. Clean the floor so I can roll it back smooth. Looks like not good on the clutch. Woo! Pressure plate is hammered. Can we say woman drivers with your foot on the clutch? I was talking about you, Easton. Just kidding. That would be my guess. Riding around with your foot on the clutch. Oh yeah. Grooves. That's gone. That wore clear through the shift fork. Hey, that's gone. No bearings left. None at all. There's some of the balls. There it is. Ooh, come off. Gonna have to doctor that. Oh, we got it. Not gonna get it. Just need another hand for a second. Ah, got her. Well, that is what's left. That's galled it up with grease, but other than that, about wore through it. Clutch pushed right through. Learn how to drive, Easton. Quit tearing up Dustin's trucks. That's all I gotta say. You're gonna owe him more than 7 years now. 8 or 9 probably. So there's one clutch I've seen worse than this one, and that was in an 84 Chevy that me and my brother-in-law used to feed cows in. That thing was grenaded. Just cold starts in the morning, wind it to the moon, letting the clutch out or else it would die. That one was horrible. There was no pressure plate left. The center hub was busted out. So this isn't the worst one, and this one wasn't my fault. That's probably why it's not too bad. I'll get a socket and let's see how the rest of this looks. Nothing to do except the heavy lifting. I swear this is about a foot too tall now. That wasn't a fall, it was a controlled drop. Okay. There's still a little bit left. Let's come over here. From the fire where it's warm. I mean, the clutch disc isn't clear gone, but the pressure plate is hammered. Throw out bearing. I've got one word for that. Easton. It's gotta be his fault. Because he drove it last. Do you remember when we first got married and we'd borrow this truck a couple of times? Mm-hmm. This probably has nothing to do with that either. Just saying. It hasn't been took out. I don't know if it's ever had a clutch. Everything looks like it's never been out, but some of that may have been from me at 20 years old. Heavy loaded cows out by Kodachrome.
Kodachrome.
Over by Kodachrome, headed up the hill, low range. Yeah, could have been me. All right, guys, we had birthday parties and cakes. Little boy's birthday, so truck got put on hold, but I'm back at it today. And check out this flywheel. There's a few heat cracks. And that doesn't look too sweet. But there is still a little bit of life in the disc. It wasn't clear gone. Wasn't good. It was on its way out, but still had a minute left in it. So the box that came with the truck had South Bend dual disc clutch, all the stuff under that gun. She is heavy. So we're gonna unstack this, get to the flywheel, and just go right back on the truck in the same way. Gonna add 100 pounds, but definitely gonna be worth it. My old charcoal, the 05 Dodge has one of these, and the Ford doesn't. Doug's the flatbed with the 12 valve in it, it has one. Good clutches, I like them. So he's gonna be happy with this. Should be. The truck does not put enough power out to spin that clutch. He's gonna love it. All right. First things first is that one. Then this disc. And this. Turn that over. Second disc. there we are. To the old flywheel. We're gonna need these bolts. So open. Take one with me and this heavy beast, and gonna stab it on the old crank. Get it in the truck. Oh yeah, that's pretty heavy. A little Loctite on those. Got her. Old clutch was 18s. These new ones are 19s. Well, that should never fall off there. That's good. Flywheel side, like that. This is gonna be tricky. All right, stay, don't fall. Flywheel side, perfect, don't fall. That goes that way. All right, one more time, don't fall. That would probably be kind of hard. Put the pressure plate on backwards, but if anyone could do it, I probably could. Right there. Heavy bugger. Got it. Took a minute, but it found its home. Come on. All right. We'll buy that. Sweet. Last one. Didn't even drop anything. Kind of proud of myself. You just never know sometimes. Alright. Ratchetto. Now before we tighten anything, we better make sure that is exactly where we want it. If not, we're never getting the transmission in. See how easy that comes out once we're tight all the way around. You see the fingers coming in, slowly working the pressure around it. All right, we're getting close. Why am I using a ratchet? I don't know, sometimes you just like to go slow and fill it. Make sure everything's going right. I'll hit it with the impact once we're done. It calls for a torque spec. We'll have to go look in the book, see what it calls for. Before we go look at the book, we probably show you taking this thing out. Look up in there. Does that look perfectly centered? Look good to you guys? Comes out and goes in. Pretty slick. Hopefully the transmission does the same. Should have read this first. Says, tighten pressure plate bolts in a crisscross pattern, one turn at a time. Got the old clutch tightened up. That should be good. Now the fun part is cleaning this up. Old bearings. Yummy. Starting fluid that. Emery cloth it up. It's really not rough. It's just got grease and oil on it. That's what was sticking on it. Do a little polishing. Get the new fork in it right over here. Remove the washer from behind the clutch fork pivot ball. I swear I remember doing that. So we're gonna take this out. There's a washer behind it. We'll take that out. Then she'll be ready to go back in. A lot of this is dirt in the bottom. A lot of it's oil and dirt mixed. I found out it's had one clutch put in it a lot of years ago. So this isn't the original clutch. But it apparently had a oil leak at one time. Can't imagine that on an old Dodge. So just gonna scrape the most of it out. Starting fluid, brake clean it up, take a washer out, and she is going back in. The oil level's good in it, so I don't know if they changed the rear main with the last clutch. Who knows, but everything will be good here shortly. The old fork slides right on good. Just had some clutch dust. I went and stole the spring off the other fork to hold it onto the pivot ball. I'll put that on, and I'll bet all this oil, I had to call Chase. Say, hey buddy, what do you think? All this oil is probably from the hydraulics, where the old slave cylinder came apart, came through the fork. Probably drained the clutch hydraulics, sprayed it all in there. That's probably it. So I think we're ready to go in. Most important part is shifting this into gear. So we can turn that so you can line it up with the clutch. If you leave that neutral, then you gotta twist. It's a mess, you're not gonna get it, but we're going in. Level this thing up a little bit. Hold the nose down. That'll be better. Up we go. Roll the tranny this way. Hitting the floorboard. Let's not do that. Let's come in a little. Now we can go up. There. Close. Ooh, we're close. Right to the dowels. if that'll roll just a little bit more. Come on. That's it. I think we could put some bolts in. That was pretty slick. Not gonna lie, that was one of the easier times, to be honest. Man, that was honestly pretty easy. We'll take that one. We'll take getting lucky any day. This side, on the other hand, is not quite. It's got to go down just a hair on this side. That's better. This side was barely high. We're good now. Start a couple more. Doing what we want. That is over it. Perfect. Maybe we can turn that on. Money. Except for that. Love it. That thing is in. Cross member is going in. Got the hardest part done. The frame is tapered. That's not straight. That's a taper. And you've got to just beat them in there. Got the first bolt in. So we're close. Look at that. Transmission jack is out. So I got the cross member and the transmission mount, the exhaust hanger, took care of. Tranny's back in. I put the front drive line on. We got some new hydraulics that they had in the box because obviously the old one's bad and it's down under there. So we're gonna change some hydraulics. Then we can put front drive line on. And then I forgot about the power steering pump. Dodges. Why do things gotta wear out? So we gotta change that. A U-joint's coming for the back drive line. It was pretty tight, had a bad spot in it. But the hard part is done. Probably only halfway done because all these little things will take up as much time as that, but getting close. We're gonna go race the old red Toyota. Come here, pup. Get in. Got a U-joint. Oh yeah, she's tight. I know a guy. We're gonna go up to Dad's and use his press and change the U-joint real quick. Let's see if we got any help here. Hey, what you up to? You wanna help me press a U-joint? What you cutting out?
Oh, I saved that pattern for Jenkins.
Nice. Wrench. That's for your pipe holder thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. You cut her out.
Cut two of them out.
Nice.
First time I ever cut them.
It's pretty sweet.
Works freaking awesome.
I'll go grab the drive line.
I'll pull that out.
I'm sure this is the wrong way, but I'm gonna plasma that out. And then we'll just press the caps out. That way you don't spread the ears because it sucks when you bend them. And it just makes it easy. So I'm gonna cut them. We'll press the caps out and then we'll just press the new one back in. Oh yeah. Got her on the table. Move the press over. Perfect. That's about the easiest way we found to do it. Flip it over. There you go. Pretty easy. I like cutting them and doing them that way. Hey, race car driver. Racing the dog. Yep. There's one cap. That's hard with only one hand, but got it pressed down. We can put one ring in the top, flip it over, push it down. Took about 10 minutes, and most of that was digging the press out, but she's close. Good?
I think so.
Got her done. Got the caps taped on. You want to grab that side? Dog legs, kind of hard to pack sometimes. Perfect. Let's go home. Thanks, Dad. That was easier than hammering it on the floor, that's for sure. Let's go put this thing on and get the old Dodge out of the shop. Drive line's in. Now back to clutch hydraulics. Up under the dash. That looks pretty fun on the hoist. I should have done that first. Oh well. Here we go. Well, if you want to see a out of shape, non-flexible fat guy crawl under there, I was just there. If you want to imagine that, go ahead. Easton already had it all unbolted. Wires undone, neutral safety switch was unplugged. Something in my eye. So we can pull this out and shove the new one up in, I believe. Got it pulled out of there, and we're just gonna cut it. It's junk anyways, so lift it up. We'll pull the bottom side down through. Drive lines on, wires are plugged in, vacuum lines are hooked up, clutch is hooked up, drive line's tight. We can probably get that out of there. The only thing, I filled the oil, topped the oil off transfer case. I'll get oil tomorrow, change the oil in that 6-speed. And so we've got a skid plate and a back drive line. That's all we got left under here. And then we have a power steering pump on the front, oily mess. Drive line is installed. All right, guys, this truck is all done except the power steering pump. There's the old one. There's the new one. Got the studs changed over. And she's going back in. Right down in there. There's lots of room and nothing's oily around it, so it's gonna be quick and easy. Just kidding. Kind of hard to film. It's just a deep, dark hole. But once I get this in, we'll fill it with oil, crack the lines, bleed it, purge the air out, and see if she'll run, see if she'll drive. I am changing the oil in the 6-speed. Dusty's picking that up. She's in Cedar today. So we're gonna wait to put the shifter in so we can fill it through the shifter cane, because that is way faster. So we get this done, we can start it, but we can't drive it yet. So let's get her done. Round dipstick, down around hoses, wires, brake master. There we go. And we're close. Just gotta turn it. There's not a lot of room there. Hey, money. Got it. Our part showed up. Thanks, babe. AMSOIL NV 5600. That's what it calls for. So we're gonna put a bunch of these in here the easy way, which is right to the top. Step over the hoist. Those aren't cheap, so we're gonna let that drip for a second and we'll dump the rest in. Transmission's full. I just raised the truck up, put the plug back in. This is 1 quart above the fill line. So right to the top. Once this one's empty, we'll put the shifter back in, put the cab, put the interior back together, and we're pretty much complete right here. I got the center console in. I've just got to put the boot and the shifter in that boot back on, and then we can fire this old girl up and make sure the power steering is going to work, clutch is going to work, and we'll go for a test drive. Wait to start. Reverse. Clutch works. Brakes work. We'll have to jack the front end up, bleed some power steering. Heck yeah. That's a good feeling right there. Let's get some power steering and some brakes. We're test driving. Well, she's running, and I got the door all cleaned up. Had a bunch of junk back there last few days, but let's go for a test drive. Let's go for a test drive. Still runs like a top. Shift's good. I love these old 6-speeds. They are definitely my favorite. Maybe we won't tell them that it's fixed for a week or two and just cruise this old girl around. Clutch has a break-in period, which is pretty much load the truck up and just use it like normal. Just kidding. You're supposed to drive it empty so many miles, shift so many times. Pretty sure he can handle that. I like it. Let's turn around and head home. Check the fluids, and I think call this one a win.